Hello, my name is Poncho Johnson. I had to respond to a reply about the trainer who was killed by the orca, or better known as the killer whale at SeaWorld. I try not to take one side versus the other, so I'm going to try to address both sides. Any animal that is wild by nature and kept in captivity and responds the way that they should, sorry, you just got to accept, period. Um, Dogs have been domesticated for many a year. Cats, not as long. Uh, Hence the term man's best friend. Uh, there are still cats that are still wild or very close to in the timeline, but yet no, there are people who still think that large cats are close to domestication. Only thing I can say is this: if you take a lion and you place it on enough land to accommodate said lion, and for some reason it eats one of your neighbor's uh, dogs, well, I call that a walk-through buffet. The only thing I can tell you is this: I have seen the circus mistreatment videos. Yeah, they're wrong. Shame on them. That's true. I have also grown up with the circus, and the one thing that's really important to me is as a kid, I got to see some of these unique and exotic animals. My kids, same thing. They get to see some beautiful animals that they would never normally get to see. I can't afford to go to, Australia, Africa, whatever. Conversely, any person who has the audacity to attack my person with spray paint because maybe I get lucky enough to come up with enough money to buy a fur coat. Well, if I beat you within 3 inches of your life, be happy that at least I'm a people person. I do not go out and judge people and physically attack them. Then I don't think because you have a fetish, whatever you want to call it, that you get to attack my person. I am not the kind of person who buys fur coats simply because I think that it's a waste of money. But if I had the money, it's my right. I do not think that people get to, because they get to judge in their opinions, get to attack me and get away with it. It's too hard to prove. Ironically, someone who gets attacked by an activist and then turns around and assaults that activist, it's a little too much retaliation that gets penalized than the initial attack. That bugs me. We can have opinions. We can be different. We can think different. I'm not an animal hater. I believe that you can really care. My daughter says she wants to be a veterinarian. I support it. What I do not support is someone who tells me that I'm wrong. If I say it's okay for you to love animals, then here's the difference. You have to meet me halfway. Going back to the gentleman who called himself a Canadian diver, who mentioned that whales who swim by themselves are rogue and that are used to swimming 5,000 miles a year, I think it was, and are relegated to only swimming in a parking lot, will eventually, I guess, snap. Then I have to say something that I know better than I know whales or animals. I know people. So, there are people, liberals is the usual, poster child for this, but let's be real. I don't care what it is. There's different groups, different people within different groups who believe the same thing. If it is wrong to place an animal in captivity, then prisons are wrong. If it is wrong to separate an animal from its type and people, then isolation is wrong in prison. If supposedly this treatment leads to attacks, then isolation in extended periods and then releasing that person back into society is really wrong. Here's the funny thing. We do all three. Should we just, abolish prisons, the practices within prisons, or what? Do your homework. In the 60s, prisons were a little bit different than they are nowadays. There was a lot less segregation, separation, and anger, and hostility, and look, prison teaches prison. If that is the case, then captivity teaches escape. There isn't really a point. Like I said, I'm trying to play both sides of this one. I'm just trying to say that the Canadian diver saying that girl basically had it coming is a fool. I'm also trying to say that to believe that no matter how sweet and caring we are, that we won't get repercussions, these people are fools as well. For that, I will say goodbye. And like I said, I am thankful that the people at least try. And I'm sad that the trainer was lost. Obviously, she had a great care for the animal. And it was just a bad time. But I will not say that she had it coming. But then again, I'm not going to say it was outside of the animal to do what they did. Thank you. I appreciate your time.